Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Generative Geek. My name is Vaibhav Pandey, and today I have a very exciting tutorial lined up for you. The request for this tutorial came from one of the subscribers of the channel who requested that I should use a pandas data frame, do an LLM call, and then return the output back as a pandas data frame. So this tutorial is an inspiration to the comment made by one subscriber, and you can see it on the screen right now. What we'll be doing as part of this video is I'll be exploring how to automate language translation using Python. We'll focus particularly on the pandas library and the JSON output parser from the LangChain library. Right? These tools will help us efficiently process and manipulate data within our project. Like you can see on your screen, we'll start with a simple paragraph in English. Next, what we'll do is we'll take this paragraph. I generally will use a paragraph generated by ChatGPT. You can have a paragraph picked up from the internet or your own creation. We'll split it into sentences, and then these sentences will be loaded up in a pandas data frame. This data frame will now become our input for the LLM calls, right? So we are going to do some work here and send the entries of the pandas data frame, which we'll call, let's say, English text, to the LLM, and we'll ask the LLM to give us French text back. Now the LLM can reply in any way, right? So we are going to do some prompt engineering here as well. How do you actually send a prompt which only results in a French text and nothing else, right? And maybe use some sort of clever output parsing to then get the data back into the data frame, right? So we are going to make use of the JSON output parser, and you will get the data back in the data frame, right? So this will be the goal here. So I really hope this tutorial will teach you how to input data using pandas, process it through language models, then neatly store the results back into a data frame. So whether you are a student, a budding data scientist, or just a curious coder, you are sure to find valuable skills and tips in this tutorial, right? So let's dive in and start coding. Let's get started. So we'll first start with installing all the necessary libraries. So I'm going to install LangChain. I'm going to make use of pandas. I'm going to make use of LangChain underscore OpenAI. And I'm also going to make use of LangChain underscore community, right? So I think community is not required. So yeah, so only these. Yeah. So let's just do this. So while these requirements are getting installed, the other thing I want to show you is the secrets manager. This is, if you click on this key icon on your Google Colab, this is how you get access to the secrets manager. You can define your keys here. Like, let's just say if you want to define your OpenAI underscore API underscore key, you can come here and you can say, hey, whatever is your key value, right? And then enable this, and that way it says secret already exists, and which is true because I already have one. But this is how API's key, then this would have got created, right? So but this is how you define your key here, and once you have defined the key, you can give that key access to the notebook access of the key by just toggling this switch. Let's say if I don't want to give these three keys access and I want to only give the OpenAI API key access to the notebook, we'll just toggle that. Next, we'll come here. Once you have defined your key, you can copy this code, which is basically from google.colab. You need to use user data and to access the keys, right? So our key was called OpenAI underscore API underscore key. This is how OpenAI underscore API underscore key. This is how you can read this key. What I'll do is I'll say import OS, and I want to set this key equal to in as an environment variable, right? So, and the same name environment variable. This is how you do that. Once you do this, an environment variable called OpenAI underscore API underscore key is now set, which has got the value from Google Colab Secret Manager, right? So this is how you set the OpenAI API key. Now, what I want to do is for our project today, I asked ChatGPT to create a random paragraph for me, and we're going to call it input paragraph, and this is that paragraph. It's some very random paragraph. The sky was clear today and it was really blue and all that blah, right? But basically the idea is that, hey, we'll take this paragraph, we'll split each sentence from this paragraph and then translate each sentence, right? So that's what my goal for this that's how I'm going to build my translation engine, right? So what we're going to say is, hey, this input paragraph has the entire paragraph. I'm going to say convert this into a list. So input paragraph should be split on a full stop, and then we are going to just print items. So let's see what happens when we do this. I get another list and I see immediately that there are two line breaks. Sky was clear, it was really blue, and all of that, right? So every time you see a comma, it's basically a new a comma with a quote. That means a new item has started, right? So that's where the split happened. Now, like what we'll do is we'll create a pandas data frame. So we'll say import pandas as pd. I'm going to say pd df is equal to pd dot data frame items. This becomes this entire list I want to pass out, pass to pd dot data frame to create a data frame for me, right? So this way df will get created. Let's just print this and see what comes back. Oh, okay. So there is an unexpected indent. And if you see en underscore text, it's all looking all right, but I'm not happy with these two extra slash n's. So what we'll do is we'll strip these out. So we'll say pdf en underscore text is df en text dot str dot replace, and we are going to replace the slash n with an empty string. Yeah. So let's see what comes back now, right? So we see that now it looks all right. So this way our data frame is now ready. What we can now do is quickly see what is the length of this data frame. So how many sentences are there? If we do that, we can see there are like 23 sentences. So we now have our English data frame ready. We now need to build the translation layer. English data frame ready. What we are going to do is we are going to make use of the JSON parser that LangChain has. And this is the page from where I have derived a lot of inspiration. So if you look at this page, right, so you see they make use of several imports from LangChain, and then they define a base model class derived from base model, and that becomes part of the parser, right? So that's what the parser then makes use of. So yeah, we're going to basically do the same thing here. I've taken a lot of inspiration from this page. So yeah, so let's do the imports. I'm doing the same imports as they did. Let's just run these imports, and next what we want to do is, so the imports are done. Next, what we need to do is, let's look at the page again. If you look at it, it defines the model. We can define the model a little later, but it defines a desired data structure. I'm going to do the same. It says the class is joke. They're providing two things within that class. One is a setup, which becomes a question for the LLM, and punchline, which is the response from the LLM. Same way, the way I'm going to do is I'll define, because our objective is translation. So I'm going to say my class is called translation. There's a base model derives from base model, and we'll say en underscore text str is equal to field, and field will have a description, which is original English text, right? So this becomes my first field, and I'm going to say fr underscore text, again a string field. Now my description is trans French translation of the original English text, right? So this becomes my class. Next, we'll just say same way as chat OpenAI, we're going to say model is equal to chat OpenAI and temperature, not zero point 0.9 but zero point 0.5, right? Generally, I give 0, but in case of a translation, you want a model to have some moderate creativity, right? You don't want to really tie it down. We'll also define the parser. We're going to say parser is JSON. Again, let's just, if you're not sure, this is what our parser is going to be. Um, I'm going to say parser is JSON input parser. Pydantic object for us is not joke, but translation, right? So this becomes the parser. We have the model, we have the parser. What we need is a prompt now, right? So I'm going to say prompt is equal to prompt template. I'm going to say template is equal to uh, translate the following English text to French, en underscore text. No, not really what I want. The template to be translate the following English text to French, and format the response in JSON. Right. So that's what I want. Right. And we'll say en text. The key is en text, and the value is en underscore text, right? So that will become my value, en text colon, yeah, I'll have to pass it as again a string. Say, yeah, en text, en value, I think this is all right. Does look like fine, yeah. Sometimes in this you have to keep, because it's not giving me suggestions whether the brackets are all closed. You have to sometimes count if the brackets are closed or not. Okay, so our input variables are in en underscore text, yes, and we need to define that our partial variables is equal to format underscore instructions parser dot get underscore format underscore instructions, and that's how you define your partial variables. Same way as they have done, we defined the parser, we are defining how it should take the format instructions, right? So we just did that. This way our prompt is now complete. We now need a chain, and like you have seen previously when we did, like, LCell LangChain expression language video, you have a prompt, you have a model, and you want to define the parser, right? So this becomes the chain. We'll now write code to invoke the chain, right? So our chain is all set up, but the chain will need to be invoked. So yeah, so let's just create that. We have our English text available in a data frame. I'm going to basically create a method called translate to French, and it will take some text. What we'll do is we'll say all the results will be part of this empty list, which is going to get populated. And we'll say for text in text, result is chain dot invoke, uh, and we'll pass it a dictionary. Dot invoke will require a dictionary. So en underscore text equal to won't work. Text is all right, but I'll have to close the dictionary. And results dot append result. Yeah, seems all right. For text index, result is chain dot invoke. What we can do is we can also print what we got here, right? So we can say en underscore text is text. This is what came from the data frame. And here we can say fr underscore text is result fr underscore text. Yeah. So yeah, or we can just say print result here, because I think I don't know. We'll come to know how the output will be, right? Yeah. So sometimes maybe the JSON is not formatted correctly. So we'll know once we call this method. So we'll say translated underscore text is translate to French, and we'll pass it the data frame with en underscore text as the column that we need to pass, because this is a single column data frame anyways. We could have passed the entire data frame, but it's always a good idea. So translated underscore text, now it says en text, this is what it got. This is the French text. If you see, it's coming back as a dictionary now, right? So there's a fr underscore text, which is the key, and all these dictionaries will now get added to results, right? So once this is done, we can even print results just to see how results look like. No, we did not save in results. We saved in translated text. So we should have translated text. I don't know what will get printed when it tries to print results. Yeah, results is not defined. So translated underscore text. And this is what we get. It's a list of dictionaries, and which is great because now this dictionary, each of this is basically a column and the value of the column, right? So it can easily be translated into a data frame. So I can quickly say that df underscore French is nothing but uh, I can very quickly say is nothing but pd dot data frame and translated underscore text. I don't even need to give the column, I feel, but let's just see, right? So translated text df French head, and module has no attribute data frame. What's wrong? Okay, oh sorry, f is not capital. Yeah. So you see, okay, where is en underscore text coming from? Did it add en underscore text in translated text? I see one en underscore text here. I should not have been here. Okay, let me just debug this. Something is definitely not right. So what I did is I just added another line saying do not send en text back in the response, right? And I've already run this, but let me just run it again. Um, so what I'm doing is I'm just running this again, and you can see this time we are getting fr text back. The en text is coming as part of this print. It's not coming as part of the response. What we need to be careful is that this dictionary should not have any en text, right? So far looks good. um, it's also, because we are using gpt 3.5 turbo. If I was using gpt 4, which is a slightly more costlier model, uh, I have seen in my experience it doesn't make such kind of mistakes, right? So here again, fr text, and now you see our data frame has only fr text, right? So we have the French data frame ready. All we have to do is now do a merge, right? So we are going to say final df is nothing but pd.concat df and df French, and access is one. Yeah, Google Colab AI is doing a perfect job with completing, with doing the completions, right? Let's see if we are getting the output right. The sky was super clear today. Let me just do a print. Okay, the outputs are still it's still not complete. But let's just say if I had to do a translation of this into French, let me use Google Translate. And because I don't speak French, the sky was super clear, and I have to translate it to French. Les ciel something real, right? So or let's just take the French output, because even if it is clear, because the sky was super clear today, and it was, right? So seems all right, and it was. Let me just take this one and see what comes back. I'm just doing a random check test on around lunchtime. I noticed that around lunchtime I noticed some clouds. Okay, so see, the thing is we had translate temperature equal to zero point 0.5, so the translation will have some creativity. It will translate while keeping the meaning same, right? So that's what we are trying to do here now. So guys, this is what we did today. This is with our with the entire thing that we built today. Our process is now complete. We concatenated the original data frame which contained the English text with the new data frame containing the translations. And final df is a comprehensive data frame that now displays each English sentence alongside its French translation. This is extremely useful for comparing original and translated text directly, right? So if we were like, just doing some sort of a quick glance, this seems like a perfect thing. Especially if you print it out into a CSV and then save it, and someone is viewing it on the screen. Yeah. So there you have it, a complete pipeline of taking a text, calling the LLM, using pandas, figuring out the output, then merging the pandas data frame and getting your final output ready. As a next step, what I really encourage you to do is maybe play around with the model parameters. Like, we set up the temperature at 0.5, set it at 1, set it at 0, see how the outputs change. Try a different model, right? We tried with Panda with GPT 3.5 Turbo. Maybe you can try with some other models, right? Um, add new columns to it, right? Pick up new languages, see if you can have like a multi-column translation data frame ready, right? Pass both the English and French, and then say, hey, you know what, figure out what is the best German translation for it, or things like that, right? The possibilities are endless. So I really encourage that you try out and pick it up in your own projects, integrate this. Possibilities are endless. Again, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, you learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Generative Geek for more tutorials like this. And humbly requesting you, don't forget to hit the bell icon, get notified about our latest videos. This is a new channel and it needs all your love. Thank you so much. Thank you.